Well, it's time for our basic one now, Mr. Francisco. So
Okay,
you are
sir.
going to you have given reading writing.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
No, just need to go again to the unit 8. Yes, this one.
All right. Tell me the step that you do in 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
to teach this book. Unit 8. Until what page? From what page until what page?
54, 55, 56, 57,
How do you
and
see
58.
this?
Okay, so the first unit 8, I try to give the after the review of homework, right? And then I try to give the introduction first. That we still talk about the jobs, the occupation, like that, and then I go into the unit 8, get ready to read, and then I explain about the goal here for inside unit 8, that we need to be able to summarize the text or the picture that is given inside the book. And then I also tell the students summarize. It also seems as we make the conclusion of the picture or of the text inside the book. And then after that, I go to the part A, look at the picture, what do you see, and then summarize. In here, I try to raise the mood of the students first. I try to make the question from this one. What can you see from this picture? Tell, or what can we get the point from this picture? So sometimes I also try to mention to my students that summarize also seems at we take the point from what we read or from what we have seen, and then we make into a sentence, into or in one or two sentences. So some of them will say that there's the people throw the ball, and then there's the people hit the ball, and then they are playing the baseball. After that, I try to combine all of the answer, and then I make the more appropriate answer, more suitable. For example, like they are playing baseball there because I think there's the main point inside this picture, and then. For this one, I also have checked the answer key, but because part A, the answer key was writing
Don't you
there.
explain first about what is summarize?
Oh yes, I have actually. That's what I said before. I explained first what is the goal. So inside the goal there, I have explained all about the what is it summarize, and then how to get how to summarize the text, and I tried to explain like in a simple way or in a short before we go to this one.
And then we have part B here, read
Yes,
and listen.
I give them to listen um, one or two times, and then I let them to read, and then after that we go to part C. I let them to answer by themselves, and then we check together after they answer this one, and then we go to this one. Who put the fire out? Same also. I let them to listen to our real audio first, and then I read. They follow after me, and then I let them to read, and then I do the pause and resume read to cover all students can read this passage. And then after that, I go to the vocabulary there. I try to give the meaning. After that, I back to the text here. I ask, is there any difficult word that you want to ask? And then after I got from the class visit from user last time, I will apply this one maybe for the next meeting, that I need to go to the weak students to ask this one, which word they need. And then after giving the difficult words, we go to the next step about think what other jobs might have to put out the fires, and then why. For this one, I have find.
Because something like it seems you explain too fast.
Yes, sometimes
All right.
maybe I don't
So
realize that.
because this one have the title is who put the fire out. All right. How do you try to explain this title to the student?
Okay, so who put the fire out? I try to explain to the students like fire put the fire out. It means we extinguish the fire. We um, try to extinguish or to put out the fire. In Bahasa we say memadamkan, and then the students directly can guess. And then I say who put the fire out. It means who that try or who is able inside the story to put the put the fire out or to put out the fire like that. And then uh, how do we know? Let's we read the text together like that. And then after this one, of course, yes, I forget the step before. After this, after we read together to try their comprehension, I give the question again, that made by myself to them. For example, um, which what place that caused the fire, and then who put out the fire, and then what is the how what is the people who the people
Okay, like this
that,
only.
that one.
We have the title is put out
The
the
fire.
fire or throw the fire out.
Mhm.
How do you try to give the meaning here in English
In English.
to your student to make
Okay.
sure that they understand?
Mhm.
Oh, to put out the fire, the meaning is this. But you explain it in Bahasa, but in English.
Okay. So to explain in English, to put the fire out, it means to extinguish the fire or to keep out the fire. Or I can also say the if like this, I will mention like some synonymous words actually. Like to put the fire out, it means we try to um, make the fire gone from the place like that by using something. That's what I think to explain the meaning in English to put the fire out like that. Sir. Uh, to put the fire out is also can we try to finish the fire, try to
Yes.
dismiss the fire like that.
Yes.
No, dismiss. Sorry,
And then you
to
mentioned
finish
also about the Franis. Franis also have the it also has
the
the intermediate meaning also.
yes,
And you just mentioned
that
about
the
there's a fire,
and then we try
and
to
then
clear it up.
you want to try to stop
Stop.
it by
Some things like
plus the
water.
water
Mhm.
or something like that. So after the waters, the fire stop. It means that
Put
we
out the fire.
uh, we we put the fire out
Okay,
like
okay,
that. Okay,
okay,
so
sir.
I mean that we have to try to give the definition,
In English also.
uh, the definition of English.
In
Yes,
English also.
don't always in bahasa.
All
All
right,
right.
sir. Okay, all right.
And then another thing from this reading part, do you think that um, what vocabulary that needs to be written?
For example, the first is about the jobs, the occupation here, and then the next one
No,
beside the
I want to ask
occupation,
about the words that
the
you
words
consider
uh,
should be written.
written. Okay. So here for some difficult words, for example, to put the fire out. This is the kinds of the difficult words, and then some difficult word also like the um, there's some maybe like for them the difficult word stops and says, and then the do you like some expression like do you print farms, um, and then some I think the more important is like some difficult words that they have asked inside this reading. So I think that's the words that or the vocabulary that we need to put or have to be written.
Okay, next. All right. And then what is the goal that you need to reach when you teach this one?
As the title of this book, we need to. The goal is they are the first, of course, they are able to read, and then the second, of course, they are able to comprehensive, to comprehend what they have read before. So if there is a question from the text or from the passage, they are able to answer this one. And then the last, they can read with intonation and also the clear articulation. So it's not like the wavy style.
What about the exercise?
The exercise, this one, I explain to them first how to do this one by one. After have explained all, I let them to do by themselves. Usually, I only give them to do all exercises around 10 minutes, and then because this one the way to answer only just circle or only just take the answer, and then after this we will discuss the answer together, and then by switching the book we will answer this one, we will discuss, and then after this I will sign the book like that.
Okay. Next part. Okay. Don't you try to ask them to um, explain about the definition of the profession over there?
For this one we will do this one in the special activity, because it's like in the real in the like it's really linked.
What is your special activity?
That's why I wanna say that's really have the connection, right? The special activity for this week that I given to them, that they try to describe or to tell what to describe about the profession or about the occupation there. So, for example, I show pilot. They will say he flies the plane, and then he works in the. He always be in the on the air, and then something like that. I mean, they after they look at the picture, they will try to describe, and then their friend will guess the what profession or what occupation is that. So for this one, we have done also in the special activity for this week.
It was done well.
So yes, fortunately it was done well, but maybe there's some occupation that still
Cannot explain.
no, I mean they're still new for them to know. For example, like secretary, what's the word actually for secretary? What is
That's
the
why
job?
this one should be given
Given in
in
the
explanation.
explanation.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Francisco.